And welcome back to What If, part 9. 9 What if Gaara was raised in the leap with Naruto? So, a couple things to address real quick. And nothing too serious. One, the Obito thing. Someone brought up that Obito would be much more interested in Sasuke in this version. Now, not gonna spoil what happens. I did address it here, and I'll address it more in depth later on. But I don't think that's always the case. Sasuke wasn't like an integral part of his plan until after Itachi was killed. Like, yeah, he was maybe keeping an eye on him, but it wasn't like from the time part 1 came around and the Uchiha Massacre happened and Obito was planning. It's like Sasuke is integral to my plan. As far as I know, that was not the case. If he doesn't need Sasuke, he doesn't. If he doesn't think Sasuke would be of use to him, he wouldn't go after him. Other than that, though, the only thing I can really say is, holy crap, guys! People think I hate Sakura, and I need to be very clear on this. I don't hate Sakura. I don't particularly like her character in part 1. I don't think it's a well-written character, and she comes off very annoying, and sometimes to the point where I hate her at moments. But as a whole, I just didn't like it that much. She's got her moments, though. Her glow-up moment in the Forest of Death, her fight with Ino. There are moments Sakura is a good character. And I honestly liked her a lot more in part 2 when she take the dumb decisions she made or some of the cons. I finally caught up to you guys. Fuck you, you did not. But besides that, like the whole telling Naruto she loved him when she didn't, just to get him to stop chasing Sasuke. Hated her for that, straight up. But her character improved greatly in part 2. I don't hate Sakura. I just don't like her that much. Which is why I'll never understand people saying, oh no, Sakura and Naruto, that was the one that should have been together. Bullshit. But that being said, man, you guys really don't like Sakura. Because you guys like, no, so many people were talking about how she shouldn't be a ninja. In fact, I'm gonna read a couple of comments if I can find them, because it really was very impressive how much people did not like my arguments for Sakura. Let's see. Let me. Oh, there it was. There we go. Someone made a joke on that. Ross Sand gone. So let's see here. What was that? Where were some of those comments? I know they're here. Where are they? Let's see here. Naruto worked his ass off. Not that one. I know they're here. Hold on. I am gonna find them. I will find them. Let's see. Oh, the Conqueror thing. That was another thing to bring up. Thank you to Awesome Manning for reminding me that because Gaara's not in the sand, there's no reason to even bring up the Conqueror thing, because they wouldn't be going for him there. Let's see. Where are those comments about Sakura? I know. So I'm not going to name the people who brought them, but you can find them in the comments. I don't try to name the people that often. Now, one thing that got brought up is that Orochimaru flat out dies because Kabuto's the one doing the jutsu, not Orochimaru, and if he's near death, he can't do it. Yes, but Orochimaru isn't completely without his jutsu, because he shouldn't be able to summon up his sword or use his elongated neck technique. What he's down is his hands, which allow him to use most of the hand signs. Now, we've actually seen him do the merging into the ground technique without using hand signs before. In fact, he uses that quite a bit. Now, maybe Kabuto still needs to do a hand sign, and maybe if he's able to just get his arms together, maybe he's able to quickly do that. But yeah, I think that you should still be able to do that, because he didn't even, keep in mind, Kabuto, I believe, was the second one to leave. He did a disappear with a smoke ball, if I remember correctly. And Orochimaru was the one who went into the ground first. There was no real reason for that to happen. There was no real reason. Now, that being said, where some of the people really got into it, whereas someone did say that she's not going to prison, but she would definitely be removed as a shinobi and put under house arrest. Let's see here. First part scenario. And so that was one comment. And then someone else, Gaara said Naruto and Gaara should not stick up or vouch for Sakura, especially Naruto. He should be angry and heartbroken, disappointed when Sakura finds out what she did. And I think it went on a little bit more. Where was the last comment here? Oh yeah. Someone also asked, I don't get why. I get you don't like Sakura, but it's Kakashi you should be more that you should be more mad at. No, that's no. Like, yes, Kakashi messed up, and I basically explained how, yes, Kakashi messed up, but he made up for that in part 2. And he even acknowledged he made bad decisions there. Whereas Sakura, again, you mentioned Tsunade and Sakura. Tsunade also kind of was being selfish in that regard when it came to Orochimaru. But yeah, she ultimately made the right decision. And keep in mind, while Sakura, the idea that Sakura, now I'm going to retcon something here, because I do agree that I actually don't think Tsunade would train Sakura. I actually disagree with the person who said that she wouldn't be allowed to be a shinobi. I think, because, again, this is a first offense. She's young, immature. There's leniency. Also, Naruto vouching for her, which we'll get to that. So I think Naruto more so because he cares about Sakura. I think maybe just a little bit more. So I think that she would definitely be in trouble, probably on house arrest, and she probably would be temporarily removed. She'd have to reapply, maybe even go back to the academy again. That could be, but I don't see her being completely removed as shinobi. Again, this isn't like if, say, Mike Guy or Kurenai or Jonin, a mature, fully ranked ninja, did something like this. That would be very different. Because also, she said she would go. She said she asked to be taken with her. And then she said, if you go, I'll scream. Like, she was doing everything she could to keep him there. And look, yeah, at a moment of hesitation, her emotions got the better of her. Is it bad for her to say that? Absolutely. But do I feel like a bunch of you guys are kind of dogpiling on her just a little bit? Yeah, a little bit. I'm not saying she shouldn't be punished, but to say, again, first offense, she's young, she's emotional. I think Tsunade, knowing how girls can be at that age, would be at least a little lenient. But I have a feeling, A, she doesn't make Chunin by year 3. And to retcon something real quick, I actually think it's Kakashi who would actually take up her training instead to make up for a lot of what happened. Now, as for Naruto not wanting to defend her because he'd be hurt and disappointed, I'm sure he would, but he still cares about her and still, in his own way, loves her. No, I think he would still be. I'm not saying he wouldn't be disappointed like she said that, but I still think he'd come to her defense on it. So I feel like everyone's like, no, he would do this. Like, would he? Like, he knows she loves Sasuke, despite everything. Like, despite that, he still loved her, at least in the original. So I don't know. I've spent enough time talking about doing house cleaning here. Let's actually get into the what if now. So the 3-year training mission, Naruto and Gaara would be coming back to the village. What went on during that 3-year training mission? Because we know Jiraiya kind of really did waste Naruto's time. He upped his base abilities. Certainly, he upped his taijutsu and his strategic thinking, his strategy. He taught him to make a bigger Rasengan and a little bit of Genjutsu negation, and he basically made him a more rounded ninja. And tried to teach him how to tap in the Nine-Tails Fox chakra, but stopped after he realized he couldn't control it. Great. But with Gaara here, and around the time that Naruto failed, Jiraiya kind of stops teaching him how to tap into the Nine-Tails chakra, that's where Naruto and Gaara training together comes in. I think Gaara would actually be very upfront to Jiraiya and be like, do you have any chakra paper on you, Master Jiraiya? Chakra paper? What, you want to learn how to use the elemental jutsus? It's a bit early for that, but then again, you are a tuning, Gaara, I suppose. And Naruto could use a little extra something, I suppose. I actually keep a couple landing on me just in case. And so Gaara and Naruto would figure out their elemental transformation. Obviously, Naruto's is wind. Gaara, though, has wind and earth. So what his primary is actually a very good question. My guess is it's probably Earth, just because of the sand. But he also does a lot of wind jutsu too. So, especially when he's in the Shikaku form. So I would say maybe they both figure out they have an wind element, so they both train for that. Naruto, though, helps Gaara by actually showing him how to do the Shadow Clone Jutsu. Because Gaara, opposite-wise, shows Naruto how to create it helps Naruto in creation of a one-handed Rasengan. 3 years time training on that. By the way, Jiraiya, you couldn't at least help him do that. Tell him how to make a bigger Rasengan, not one-hand the damn thing. So Naruto gets a one-handed Rasengan. Gaara gets Gaara helps it gets the Shadow Clone Jutsu. Now, how much chakra does Gaara have? Well, training will increase that, obviously. He doesn't have Naruto's reserves. We know that. He's not a news Uzumaki despite the red hair. Although you could make, if someone wanted to try to make a theory that he is one, I could see the theory. I wouldn't buy it, but I could see it. Maybe that's where that person who one time said that Tamari and Naruto are related, political things, don't ask or something like that. I'm like, no, dude, you can't say that and just say don't ask. But anyway, but Gaara still has a lot of chakra even without using Shikakus. Now, that being said, is it enough to spam clones like Naruto? Hell no. And to be fair, he wouldn't do that anyway, except for maybe like one major attack, like to just overwhelm his opponents. He'd probably use them more strategically. But if we're not adding Shikaku's chakra in there, because even a fraction of the chakra of even the weakest tail beast would still be huge. He probably can do a dozen at most. I mean, not even a dozen, actually. I'll downgrade that. Let's say half a dozen. I'd say half a dozen because shadow clones are difficult to do. Naruto just has freakish amounts of chakra. I think that is a reasonable level to put base Gaara at, but then tapping into, obviously, Shikaku's chakra gives him more of that. Naruto also helps him aid him in hand-to-hand combat more because using Shikaku's chakra, putting like the chakra like fists and stuff on him. And, he needs to be a bit more skilled in taijutsu. So they figure out their wind style eventually. Overall, Naruto unintentionally is figuring out the secret of the Shadow Clone Jutsu. Jiraiya gives him a couple jutsu, like the Great Breakthrough, the Gale Palm. Naruto figures out the wind style Rasengan over this time. And I think it does even also figure out the Rasen Shuriken, but they quickly realize he can't use it. It takes a while for him to heal up from that. But Naruto can still use a wind style Rasengan. I think Gaara actually focuses more. Gaara picks up the wind style Rasengan as well, but he also picks up the magnet release Rasengan, which should know, and he has the Shikaku variant of it too. But should note, if you watch my Zanpakuto of every element video, my depiction of a actual magnet release Rasengan is essentially a Rasengan that pulls the target into the Rasengan like a magnet, except it's a magnet for chakra, not metal. So that's how I would see a magnet Rasengan. Now, the Rasen Shuriken aspect of it, I can't remember what that was, nor can I remember right now what the Earth version I did was, because Gaara also has that. So Gaara actually does have the overall edge in Naruto right now. In fact, Gaara could because he has wind, he picked up the wind release from Naruto as well. Now, the question is, does Naruto have a secondary chakra element? I mean, it's probably likely he did. Most ninja had like at least 2 to 3 affinities. And Naruto obviously picked up all the nature elements when he got to his Asura chakra and the 6 pass chakra as well. Or Azura. Anyway, but still. So, and last but not least, Gaara has pretty much now kind of a working relationship with Shikaku. I wouldn't say it's as good as B and say the 8 Tails, but it's probably like the next step down. Like Shikaku does still want out of Gaara at some point, but he's willing to work with him. The seal prevents him from actually fully escaping, but they can work in tandem with each other. And Gaara has even expressed, all right, fine, not Gaara. Shikaku was actually kind of not regrettably, but what's the word I'm looking for here? He hates to admit it, but he considers Gaara a friend. What's the word I was looking for there? Yeah, begrudgingly, does it? He's begrudgingly accepting him as a friend, so they do he can go into a full tail beast mode if he needs to. The seal isn't perfect for that, but the seal weakens enough that he can access that with Shikaku's help. So yeah, he's got a full tail beast mode. Mind you, though, Naruto still can summon toads like Gamabunta. He's still got the Rasen Shuriken, where Gaara doesn't. He's got all the wind jutsu as well. He's also just better at the shadow clones. Plus, let's be honest, full power Shikaku versus just Naruto with a base Kurama form. I'm still probably taking Naruto in that fight, if I'm being honest. Either way, they make it back to the village. Naruto's like, welcome, I'm back, Konoha, welcome home. Or we're back, Konoha, welcome, or we're home. And Gaara's like, Naruto. And Sakura sees it, Naruto? Gaara? And Sakura? Sakura, it's great to see you. And you're looking well. I was like, wait, you still have a headband. And she flinches at that. I was like, yeah, no, it's good to see you. And she just kind of starts to shake a little bit. Like, they only just got back. She's about to burst into it. And she just bows her. She's like, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for everything. It's like, what? What God? I was, and everyone was right when they said I was being selfish when I was going to leave the village just because over a boy I liked. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it. And then, God, she's basically spilling her guts out. Naruto and Gaara just looking at her, hey, it's okay. We brought him home. And yeah, looks like you suffered enough. Enough. You're still a ninja. We still can be a team. We're still friends. It's all good, okay, Sakura? Just no more tears now, all right? And Sakura comes from, I don't deserve. And she just gives him hugs. I don't deserve friends like you. And Naruto's like, Sakura's hugging me. It's like, nah. And Gaara gets a hug too. Wait, and then they get a little bit more serious. So how is Sasuke? And she just, and so they go. I think Sakura at this point is allowed as permitted visits, and when they see Naruto and Gaara are back, and then when Tsunade finds out about it too, they're just like, yeah, no, they can go in. Or Shizune or whoever's guarding is like, no, they can go in. And there's Sasuke just sitting there, just like, the prodigal son's return. Well, it's so good to see my old comrades. Your old comrades? You mean we're friends? We're still your comrades? Really? Is this how comrades treat their friends? By locking them in prisons? All into which Gaara's like, only when they try to desert and abandon their village to someone who threatens to destroy it. Touche, Gaara. Yeah, I knew touche, Gaara, but I heard you made Chunin. Good on you. Good on you. Yes, I did. By the way, someone said he can make Jonin. Well, he's not in the village. You can't get any rank while he's not in the village. Sasuke, and Naruto's like, why? Why did you do this? It's like, yeah, you still, all these years later, and you're still asking that question, Naruto. I did it to avenge my kin. I did it for power, so I could finally do what I was meant to, what my purpose was. And you took that away from me, Naruto. You and Gaara. I swear, one day I will get out of here, and I will kill Itachi, and then I will take my vengeance. I will have my revenge on everyone, and everything. And it was just like, okay, yeah, no, you're done. It's like, and he's like, oh God, and he's like, he's in a particularly bad mood today. Sorry. And Naruto and Gaara kind of like think to himself, it's like, are you still in love with? They're thinking, they're not saying it out loud, but are you still in love with him? Either way, though, Tsunade calls him to the office. Sakura shows up. Sakura, good. And like, there's really, after 3 years, a year on house arrest or probation, spending maybe another 6 months in the academy just to reacclimate yourself to like ninja and all that, and then Kakashi taking her under his wing for about a year and a half. She's served her penance, I think, at this point. By the way, it's not like she says, take me with you so I can help you destroy the village and gut all the children. It's not like she did something crazy like that. She just said, take me with you. So while that is technically a betrayal of the village, the way she said it is clear. It wasn't meant to be a betrayal of the village. She was just in the heat of the moment and her emotions. So I get everyone's upset at her, and there are certainly times where maybe she won't be a ninja anymore. Not saying that. I just chose for this version to keep her a ninja. But in terms of what she's learned, by the way, that's a good question. I think one of the things Kakashi has certainly trained her under is Genjutsu more than anything else. We don't see Kakashi use Genjutsu very often, but he does know it. If anything, she might have gotten lessons under Kurenai more than anything else. I think she also picked up some medical jutsu to aid in helping them recover. Sakura has, I believe, a Earth Elemental release. Fires her second because she had to learn it to be an Uchiha. So she's probably picked up a couple Earth jutsu, one or two from Kakashi, like the height. I can't remember what it is, but Headhunter jutsu. That's what it is. Maybe the Mud Wall jutsu, and I always call it the Crater Fist technique. So she's pretty well rounded. Kakashi would test them out. He'd still prove that he's the man. And we're getting low on battery, but I do want to cover this. So, Sasori and Deidara making it to the Leaf. Would they attack the Leaf to get to Gaara knowing that he's there? Remember in the original, that Sasori, I believe it was Yori or Yora, one of the names of it, was a sleeper agent he had that they used to get past the guards to allow them to get into the village. So they don't have that here. But what they do have is still they can attack Konoha from a distance if they need to. Deidara can literally just fly in the sky, just die. So that's what happens after they kind of settle back in. The village is being attacked. They're under attack. It's like, mind you, Deidara and Sasori, while intelligent, Deidara is intelligent enough. Sasori's probably the smarter of the two. He's hoping maybe he's going to just blow up, kill some of the more impressive ninja, because you still have Kakashi, Tsunade, Shizune, Azuma, Guy, Neji, and now we don't know how many of them were actually in the village. Like, I think actually Guy's team was Guy around when Naruto and Gaara came back? That's the question. We know they had only just kind of recently gotten back from a mission, and they were sent as backup to Team 7. But then we don't know if they had been out of the. We don't know if any of them are out of the village right now. So for legitimately, you could have all the Konoha 12 in there, not 13 because Sai's not there. And so he's attacking. Gaara does eventually show himself along with Naruto. I got this one tail and the 9 tail. So Naruto's wearing one tail and the 9 tail. Two birds at the price of one. And Gaara's just taking him out with the sand. Naruto's just wind style. Grind breaker. Okay, then that's a little annoying. And then all of a sudden he hears the Chidori of Kakashi's lightning blade. Oh, crap. It's like, okay. And Sasori's like, that idiot. And the sand is the weakest of the 5 great nations. It would have been easy for him to overwhelm them. But the Shikaku's Jinchuriki is difficult enough on its own, from what we're told. Not to mention their Okage is one of the legendary Sani and the legend Tsunade. Adding ninja like Kakashi of the Sharingan, and this was a fool's errand. And this is a fool's plan. And then Sasori just from inside, like whatever, opens up what he needs to. You better thank me for this, Deidara. And all of a sudden, the 100 puppets come out, as a lot of ninjas are suddenly getting foddered by these poison blades, as well as Black Iron Sand showing up in there, because he brings out the Kazekage puppet as well. What the? Now, ninja are like dying, and like they're taking out puppets, and Naruto is certainly just throwing Rasengan's, blasting these puppets out of existence. Gaara, meanwhile, is struggling against Deidara, trying to keep his bombs at bay. He tries to, I believe it's the C3, it's the giant doll, right? Let's see, it's C0 is the one where he literally just eats it and just turns into the bomb. C1 is basically the standard explosions, if I remember correctly. C2 is the dragon. C4 is the microscopic one? I'm not going to pull it up right now. You can remind me if I'm wrong. But anyway, he tries to throw the doll, and Naruto's like, oh, it's like, crap, that's huge. Gaara has to pump as much sand as he can. Just boom! And everyone's like shaken by the attack. Meanwhile, Guy comes in, just hits the like Kazekage button. That's the best you can do. And meanwhile, the sensor ninjas and the ninjas with ocular jutsu are trying to think of chakra strings. They're leading somewhere. Sasori, meanwhile, is like, manipulating the puppeteers. Like, best you've got. All of a sudden, Naruto and Gaara are Naruto's all of a sudden you see like glowing orbs in the night sky. It's like, beautiful that wait, what? And all of a sudden Gaara's Saiyan comes out with a bunch of Rasengans and it just oh crap, it's like not good. It's like, and all of a sudden there's one other sound, and it's the sound of like a screeching attack. Now, Naruto can't really. Deidara is a bad opponent for Naruto just because of the long range versus close to mid range at the moment. But what Naruto can do is, first off, he can just use a clone for the Rasen Shuriken if he wants. But we've seen Naruto and Gaara have probably worked out a way to use Naruto's Rasen Shuriken on its own. Mind you, it takes a lot of chakra on Gaara's part, but he activates the Shukaku's Jinchuriki chakra, that part, gains some markings, and he's permeating his sand with enough chakra to literally have a giant sand claw permeated with chakra, holding the Rasen Shuriken there, and then just, and it's like, you're not going to give me, just like dodge, and and Deidara's just incinerated into nothing. Meanwhile, and Sasuke's like, that attack, Deidara was killed. This is no good. And then all of a sudden, he hears two voices in the back. Gentle fist art, or ninja art. Gentle fist, vacuum palm. And just the chakra wires get cut. Sasuke's like cores round his main body is it has to pop out. It's like, what? He's like, what is? And there's Neji and Hinata. They're standing ready. Just it's like, Hyugas, of course. They can see my chakra strings. Yeah, and he just reveals his puppet body. And it's not functioning. It's like, they must have damaged my chakra core. It's like, there, Lady Hinata, are you sure this is a good idea? Are you sure you can handle it? Yeah, don't worry about me. I've got it. And they're like climbing and like going towards him, fighting as fast as dodging, weaving, because that's what a lot of their techniques do, is dodging, weaving. The blades come in, rotation just crashes against Neji, and to be fair, that might be powerful enough not to break through it, but actually like really push Neji pretty hard. And all of a sudden, she realizes, I didn't forget about you. No, I know you did not, but did you forget about her? And all of a sudden, like Senbone pierces the cords, like almost like a paralytic. And there's Shizune giving her some spotlight time here, with her Senbons. Like, those Senbon are laced with a paralytic poison. Your chakra shouldn't be. You're gonna find it very difficult to move. You think this is a normal organ, do you? But instead, all of a sudden, he just realized real quickly, like, I took my eyes off her. Damn it! And she just lands the strike, and puts him down. And I don't think he even gets out of the whole word of, I have a meeting with an associate at the Tenchi Bridge. Like, no, just he dies. Like, that amount of damage, he dead. Well, maybe not. He's lived for a little bit after his heart was stabbed twice. So maybe he gives that information, but I don't think it would matter. They're not going to do anything with it. And so the day is saved. Or is it? Because afterwards, after assessing the damage, starting to get rebuilding, Tsunade gets a report. Lady Tsunade, what is it? There's been a breach in the prison. What do you mean? Sasuke, he's gone. Mm-hmm. And should note that Orochimaru and Kabuto probably heard tell of the attack on the Leaf by Akatsuki and Deidara, and word travels fast that Sasuke is now in the winds. Sasuke's gone. Sasuke's not really. Sasuke has been able to get away from the Leaf at last. Yes, it's with perfect timing. I believe your time is almost up, Lord Orochi. Indeed. Oh, Sasuke, you've come back to me. But in actuality, Sasuke wakes up in a bit of a cave area, and in front of him is a man in an orange mask. Hello there, Sasuke. Who are you? What do you want? My name is... you can call me Toby, and what I want is to help you. Help you get your revenge. And it's like, what do you mean? And so, you see, I'm a collector of sorts, and what I collect is tail beast.
Unfortunately, our little excursion to get the one tail and the nine tail did not prove fruitful. But with your help, I think we can make I think we can make both our goals a reality. Why should I help? And what exactly do you get out of it? You get your brother's death. He works for us after all. Then again, you might also I can offer you more than just that. Uh, but maybe uh, uh, because there's another individual in the organization you probably also want to kill. And before he's able to say who it is, that person walks in. It's like, ah, Danzo, I'm so glad you could join us. And it's like, so you brought the Uchiha boy after all. Yes, I'm hoping you'll be able to help increase his strength quite a bit, seeing as we need him for our goals. We need him down the road. Now, Danzo working as Danzo wearing, like, say, an Akatsuki cloak. No, he's more like kind of like the shadowy guy in the background, like not technically a part of the Akatsuki, but not necessarily. He ran when he got found out. He ran, and ultimately he's like, "I will be Hokage. I will get my revenge." And so he ultimately sided with this guy, who he believes is probably gonna help him out, but he's also not entirely convinced, and keeps his cards close to the chest. And so, yeah, we now have a very altered timeline here. So until then, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you Wednesday. And like, comment, share, subscribe. See you next time.